It's our annual Christmas special with Remy.
Next on Eternal Durdles.
Hello and welcome to the holiday season of Eternal Durdles. This December, we are celebrating the holiday season by posting a video every single weekday in December. That means 5 days worth of content every week. As you can imagine, that's a huge lift. It's basically like a second job for me at this point. So if you can support us by going to patreon.com/eternaldurdles, that would be much appreciated. As always, the show is free, but you can get ad-free content on Patreon. You also will get, starting January again, a bonus episode from us every week. And without further ado, I just wanted to thank everybody who's already a patron. And here's the show. Hello and welcome to Eternal Durdles. I'm your host, Zach Clark, and with me as always, Phil Blackman. Phil, how's it going, man?
No, with me as always is Remy. What's up, Remy?
How you guys doing? I'm so excited to be here yet again for a wonderful holiday season episode.
Yeah, this is going to be great. A tradition every year now. I think we're on like year 4.
I love it.
The Christmas special episode. So we've got a couple of great topics for you. We've been talking a little bit about, mall food, Cinnabon, Annie Ann's pretzels.
Oh my gosh.
Before I get started, what's your go-to like mall shopping food?
For me, it is problematically a Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream cone. Last year, and I didn't realize this until I saw my credit card bill, I ate 12 of them in the holiday season. It is difficult for me to walk by a Haagen-Dazs in a mall. I love Haagen-Dazs vanilla, so that would be an easy answer.
Phil, what about you?
Speaking of walking by, my favorite is just whatever the greasy Chinese food place is that can give me lo mein. Like just load that lo mein up on the styrofoam plate, make me hate myself, and it's gonna be so good.
Oh
yeah,
yes.
There was a place in my mall that branded their like General Tso's as like Cajun chicken, and I was like, these are not the same thing.
No, but
like,
I want that.
General Tso's. That's like there's absolutely no breading on it. It's just like sauce and chicken parts.
Bro,
you know what I'm talking about?
I only want the food court mall Chinese food that is labeled as something entirely different. Surprise me.
Yeah. Mine is Annie Ann's pretzels, but like you could go with the regular. I like the ones that are just covered in cinnamon, so that your hands are the grossest they can possibly be, while like deciding if you want to buy your aunt a sweater or not.
Yeah. You're not rethinking your life choices quite enough if your hands are clean. Yeah. You need a substance, a powdery, sticky substance.
I just want to point out that I do eat the food court lo mein with my hands. Yes.
Yeah.
The food court lo mein, regardless of the mall that you go to, is surprisingly consistent from location to location.
Yeah. How do they do that?
And
you can get in a town. You can't get the same kind of Chinese food, but every
you guys
mall
know
Chinese
me.
food is the same.
You know me as a man of consistency. That's why I appreciate it so much.
You can eat so much of it too. It's like so perfectly lubricated. Like I understand
that's how I describe my favorite foods. Perfectly lubricated.
Perfectly lubricated. Like I understand how Joey Chestnut throws down so many hot dogs with the dunking it in the water and everything. It makes a difference. It's a problem.
I went to school with the son of the Wing King of South Jersey. That guy like won like this is a local thing, but like there's like a wing eating contest that used to be held at the Spectrum, which does not exist anymore in Philadelphia. That like this dude's dad won, and it was like this thing that like this dude would show up in school. Was like, yeah, my dad's the Wing King, and I was like, that is a weird flex.
It's a weird flex, but it's a cool flex. I mean, there must be a Haagen-Dazs eating competition somewhere. Like that has to exist, right? And I would love to sign Remy up, not so that you can aggressively compete for the win, but so everybody around you that's just gremlining out all of this Haagen-Dazs and you're just enjoying a cone on a lovely day.
What's your strategy for brain freeze, Remy?
Ooh, tongue on the roof of the mouth.
There you go.
Tongue on the roof of the mouth.
Yeah,
yes.
That's a classic play and an optimized play as well.
Yeah, it
What's
works.
Yours,
Yeah.
That's the exact same.
I
will sometimes power through it and just eat more and then scream brain freeze while I'm doing it.
That's brutal.
Yeah, fire with fire.
So topic number 1 today is all-time your all-time top 5 in no particular order.
Okay.
Favorite Christmas specials. Christmas specials, Christmas episodes, Christmas movies. It can be any of these things. Eternal Durdles is proud to be sponsored by Moxfield.com. Moxfield is the best deck building website on the internet. You can find all of my and Phil's decks in links below, including decks from this episode. And if you do, you'll be directly supporting the channel.
Okay.
I'll start
Yeah.
with my number 1, which is the Mystery Science Theater 3000 Santa Claus.
Mhm.
A classic. It's good every day of the Christmas season and even a little bit afterwards. Just all the laughs. They've got it's just solid jokes all the way through and super weird.
I haven't seen that. I'm writing this down.
Yeah.
Everybody write down these specials.
I'm gonna link what I can. I will link in the description of this video as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have places to go. And this is coming out tomorrow. We're recording on the 23rd. This is coming out tomorrow.
Oh, this is
for
gonna be
Christmas
fresh.
Eve. Yeah.
Fresher,
So get
fresher
ready.
than an Annie Ann's pretzel.
Yeah.
Which isn't tough to beat.
Yeah. All right, Rick,
You just dunk it in the oil and you're fine.
You're fine. Dunk
it plays
this
fresh.
episode in some oil.
It plays fresh. So when I was a kid, back before the internet, when you just had to sit there and look at the listings and wait for it to come on, it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, my kids, they can load it up on the YouTube or something like that. But that claymation or whatever it was.
Yeah, the Rankin Bass.
That's a classic for me.
It's a great one. Phil, you got one?
Yeah. My first one is, I don't know if it's all that popular of a Christmas special, but it is one of my all-time go-tos, which is Fight Club.
Fight Club, the Christmas movie, of course. Yeah.
They make soap as gifts. It's a really it's
a real commentary on capitalism as well.
It's all about bringing people
right up
together.
There with, there with Jingle All the Way as far as like commentaries on capitalism. I get it. Yeah,
finding common ground and following the rules. It's a really heartwarming story.
Yeah. Why not?
All right. So my number 2, again, in no particular order, is any Hallmark romance Christmas special. Like any of those.
100%.
So we have we got this on Etsy. We just found a bingo chart that's randomized, and so my wife and I will pull out the bingo chart and we'll play bingo. And the bingo chart will have things like there is a legitimate class difference between the 2 characters. Like he is a prince and she is a woman who works in retail.
It's always something like that. Yeah.
Or like one of my all-time favorites. There was one, I think it was like Melissa Joan Hart, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Why did you put the emphasis on Joan?
That's how it's pronounced.
Who's Melissa Joan Hart?
Melissa Joan Hart. Just in case you would think like Melissa, I want to make sure it's Joan Hart, not Melissa Hart. But the way this one worked was that she was a podcast host that did romance podcasts for each holiday in the year. And like, there was just like, okay, she finished her Thanksgiving one and then was like, well, I'm free until Christmas. And then like, she just left town. And I was like, are you telling me this woman's podcast is so good that she only has to record like maybe 9 or 10 episodes a year? And then, like, and her like agent is calling her like, are you ready with the next one? I'm like, what is going on? And I think it's the guy who plays it might have been the son. I forget the name of the character from 90210. It wasn't Jason Priestley. It was Jason Priestley from 90210. Brendan Walsh. I don't know. Was the like love interest character, the guy from her hometown who's like grounded, but like also went to high school with her somehow and still lives in her town and isn't like a raging lunatic. That's the best. My favorite part of any of those is like you meet the guy from your hometown and somehow he's not a complete mess. All right, Remy, you're up.
So on your theme, actually, I'm mixing my list up because I have developed a soft spot for the super cheesy Christmas movies, and I love that they've leaned into the genre and they're just like cranking these out on like Netflix and everything like that. And I was scrolling last week or the week before, and there was one called like Hot Frosty, and it's like this. It's Snowman comes to life, and like you watch the trailer, and you're like, this is so cheesy, and
It's really sexy.
I loved it.
Stop it, Snowman comes.
I loved Hot. What did I say it was? Hot Frosty? I loved Hot Frosty. Oh my goodness. I loved it. That might have been my favorite one that I saw this year.
Man, I'm just getting a craving for Wendy's now. I just want some hot
It's like they put it in the chili machine.
Yeah, give me some hot Frosty. Yeah.
Dip the fries in.
I'm throwing an aside here, but did you see they have a caramel Frosty now? That's the seasonal one. The seasonal ones are so good. I'm sorry, I'm throwing this off the rails. The strawberry Frosty is probably better than the original. That's sacrilegious, but it's up there. I need to try the caramel one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Do they put salt on it?
I'm wondering. Maybe that's like a little.
You got to sprinkle some salt on it.
Salt Bay guy.
Salted caramel. Yeah, so you got to salt that caramel.
I got to be honest. I haven't had a Frosty since like the Halloween. The day after Halloween of 1994.
That was the best day to get one.
Because you would get the coupons from like your cheap neighbor who like just was like, yeah, I'll just go get Frosties for everybody. Here's a coupon.
That was a good vintage 94.
Yeah.
That was a good Frosty year.
That was the best year for Frosties.
Yeah,
Phil.
What's up?
Phil, yours.
Your movie, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So, well, now that you guys have like shown, I thought it was like specific, exact one things, and you're broad scoping all the Hallmark movies. So I'm going to change my second pickup as well to be a little bit wider. It's the first season and the prequel of the Starz series Spartacus. Now, let me tell you.
The seasonal classic.
I believe that takes place just about 200 years before the birth of Christ. So
let me tell you, man,
right in there. Yeah.
If you guys are looking for just the perfect movie or series to watch with your family, it's just oiled up gladiators, just ransacking each other.
Yep. I'm familiar. Believe me.
Oh yeah.
Do you like gladiator movies?
Don't watch season 2 or you don't need season 2 or season 3. You just need season 1. And the prequel, that's it. And it's so good, and it'll last the whole holiday season.
I appreciate that Remy got that joke because that sort of stuff generally flies right over Phil's head.
Airplane, I love
that. Nothing flies over my head. Nothing. I got a ceiling here. Nothing flies over.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Newhart, the Newhart show, no room at the end. Newhart, it was the second Bob Newhart show in the 80s, and he runs an inn with his wife. And then this like group of skiers come to stay over Christmas break. It snows too hard. They can't, all the roads are closed, so they get stuck. And then this guy Joe and his wife Mary show up, and of course there's no room at the inn, but they make room for them at the Loudon's inn. And of course she goes into labor. And they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? Everything's snowed out. Well, it turns out the ski team is a doctor ski team. And there's 24 surgeons that run up the stairs. And they're like, we're going to, they have something to do now. But there's a really great through line with this, with all the Bob Newhart, Christmas episodes of anything he's in. The man loves his baked ham. And it's one weird through line that happens and every Bob Newhart Christmas thing, he'll just be like, I can't wait to have my baked ham. And it's really weird. And just this random thing that I think he just needs to have in every Christmas special he does.
That's another one I haven't seen and I really want to see because I like Bob Newhart a lot. No room at the end.
No room at the end. I will link these below. So this one I know is on YouTube because I watch it every year. Remy, you're up.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to go Home Alone. Home Alone.
A classic.
Classic Christmas movie. I like how it also has, I'm not a film buff, so a lot of things go over my head as far, I know that there's something going on. There's something they woven in some Christmas themes in there. Like the dude, the creepy neighbor. Remember the creepy neighbor with the shovel? They're all scared. Yeah. He's got bandages on his hands, which I feel means something
He's Jesus.
It alludes to crucifix. I don't understand why 100%. I've only seen the movie 1,000 times, so maybe it's going to take.
It's called Stigmata.
Yeah, it's got but the reasons behind it elude me.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love the theme.
He's being resurrected to his family at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he definitely needed saving.
Yeah, he needed saving.
But so classic. The music is great. The story, all the actors are so good. I love John Candy.
Yeah, John Candy did all of that ad-libbed.
That's crazy.
They hired him for basically his day rate, and he shot everything on the drive. Like they were just like, let's just do it. Like, and he did. And Hughes was just like, hey, you just do whatever you want for this stuff. And so all of that stuff is just ad-libbed random stuff that he said, and they were like, yeah, we're keeping it. Let's go.
That's amazing. It was
a favor he wanted to do for Hughes for like his kid or something like that. I forget what it was exactly, but yeah.
All those Hughes movies of that era, I couldn't tell you why, because I don't really understand film all that well, but they all were just so good.
Yeah.
So that would be my third.
All right, Phil, your third.
So speaking of John Candy, Uncle Buck was my number 6. So it was just just off.
Uncle Buck, it does take place during the wintertime.
During the holidays. It was a great pick, but you got to give your honorable mention somewhere.
Almost the same cast as Home Alone. John Candy's also in that movie, and Macaulay Culkin's in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, right. I don't know if it's all there. It's all there, which is why it was so close to my top 5. But as you can see, as you've heard so far, my top 5 is very tight.
Yeah.
So my number 3. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask, is Uncle Buck John Hughes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I loved that movie.
It was
the kind of the subsequent TV show.
The subsequent TV show is ridiculous.
My number 3 is specifically the Riddler episode of the 1993 Batman the Animated Series. Now, this is specifically an exceptional episode for the holidays.
It's totally possible that this is actually a Christmas episode too.
It's totally a Christmas episode. Hey man, like my company just laid off 109 people right before the holidays, and the episode starts because Riddler is just like scrutinized at his job, and that's why he revolts, and then he becomes a supervillain, right? Like it is as quintessential of a holiday story as you can get. And then all of the riddles and clues was they're navigating the maze. I don't want to give any spoilers, but like it's all holiday adjacent. Everybody can try and solve the Riddler's riddles together in front of the fireplace while it's perfect, and it's my number 3. Some might argue that it should have been ranked higher, but
the competition of villain arc.
The competition was just so good for
that was
a
great show. That was a great series.
Great series, all time. Great goat series.
I was just telling Phil, like I just sent this to Phil through Instagram. There's a podcast where they break down each episode, and they have a clip from the episodes, and like I was like, I wish our podcast could be half as good as like the 30-second clip of like them breaking down like a Two-Face episode. Like just wild, really great stuff. I have to look up the name of it. I'll link that below too. All right.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh no, I was going to say that would be awesome to see.
Yeah. All right. He-Man, She-Ra, Christmas Hour. I say this every year. He-Man, She-Ra, Christmas Hour. First off, they're not even from Earth. They don't even know anything about Christmas, and they learn about it because Orko gets accidentally transported to Earth. 2 children almost get hit by an avalanche. He saves them. Then they teach him about Christmas. And right before they start getting into the religious stuff, cuts to commercial, right? If you watch it on YouTube, it's all He-Man commercials. It's like, like they just like cut to commercial and they're like, buy He-Man toys, right? and then it goes back to the show. And what's great about this thing is that like, okay, you learn about all of Eternia learns about Christmas. Skeletor gets the Christmas spirit, becomes the hero, which is amazing. He starts off with some of the all-time greatest lines in He-Man history, which are, I am not nice. They tell him about Christmas, and they're like, it's a time where you we get with your friends and have fun parties. He's like, and you get into fights? And it's like, no. He's like, well, fights are fun. And then they're like, and you give each other gifts. And he's like, the gifts explode?
You know, depending on your family, you know, maybe you do fight. Maybe fights do break out. So
I mean,
it might be
it's
pretty.
a classic Christmas special.
Yeah.
But yeah, that again is also on YouTube, so you can watch that as well.
Oh man,
all right, Remy, you're number 4. Maybe number 2. I don't know which one. I don't know which we're going.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going up or down. I still haven't seen the He-Man one. You've mentioned it before.
Yeah.
And I think last year we were talking about. I think I had just seen White Christmas.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember the specifics of the movie. I'm going to throw it in there because I liked it a lot. We
went on like a 7-minute rant about White Christmas last year.
Yeah, I think it was the general. The general. There was a song in there like, "What do you do with the general?" They're trying to get like the general's back from war and he has no money, and like, you know, being alive at this day and age, you're just like, just go work for Lockheed or something like that.
Become a lobbyist.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah, but a different time.
Yeah.
But that one, Netflix had it remastered and it was really vibrant. I don't know if that's still available, but I'd throw White Christmas up there. I like that.
It's a great one. Phil.
My number 2 is also an individual episode of a series. And it's just so fortunate for me for an episode like this that one episode happens to be the holiday episode of the series. It is episode 5 of season 1 of Mythic Quest. And it is legitimately one of my favorite episodes of television. And you know, is it okay if I'm honest with you guys? Can I be? Is this a format where I can be honest?
Please.
Okay,
please.
It has nothing to do with the holidays whatsoever. It is the furthest thing from a holiday episode. But man, is it great? And you should watch it.
I like it.
Yeah,
I'm curious. I'm curious about so many of these.
If I had to choose just an episode, I would tell you Charlie Work from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, one of the best episodes of television out there ever. And it's all shot like one camera, like one shot all the way through.
That's impressive.
Anytime they Birdman a whole episode, I'll just the camera never changes to single shot all the way through. I love that stuff.
You gotta watch it. Yeah. All right. My number 1 all-time Christmas special is the Pee Wee Herman Christmas special. This is every 80s celebrity, like just all tracked. There's like 40 people in this thing. You know, you've got Lawrence Fishburne as like Cowboy Curtis. It's just like all the way down the line. It's just like hilarious. You know, Cher is in it, like Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah, you know, Little Richard. I could go on for days. Like it's wild how many people are in this Christmas episode. And you get all the classic Pee Wee stuff. You get John B doing wishes. Santa shows up at the end. It starts with like this like military like you know, like choir singing, and then like of course Pee Wee's like just jumps in like, hey, everybody, you know, like it's like completely, and then everyone's dancing. There's so much music and stuff. It's just like, if you want to like liven up your Christmas party, throw that on the background. It's like everyone's like, it's a Christmas sugar rush.
I don't think I've introduced my kids to Pee Wee Herman. I loved like waking up on Saturday morning, and that was like a staple. I remember.
I will mention Ernest Saves Christmas, but like Pee Wee is the way to go to, like, you know, as far as weird guy Christmases are concerned.
Man, so many classics. That's another one I haven't seen in a long time. Ernest Saves Christmas. There was like I feel like
great. Every year.
Every 3 months from like 1985 to 1992, there was like an Ernest movie that came out.
Yeah, it was like Ernest I think I walked in the middle of Ernest Goes to Jail as like my dad was just like, I'm going to the mall, go. And he like just bought tickets to like already running movie to just like just like, I need time alone. Like, please watch this movie. I'm going to go to the mall. Ernest Goes to Jail. Ernest Goes to Camp. Ernest Saves Christmas. Ernest Saves Halloween. I forget what that one's called. There's a Halloween one. That's like, I forget like, it's Ernest versus Trolls, basically. I
gotta look up the list. Maybe see if I can grab the Criterion DVD for some of those.
Jim Varney was a Shakespearean trained actor, which is some wild stuff. Yeah, all of the Ernest stuff came from him doing commercials for like random local places, and but like he was a Shakespearean trained actor.
Oh my goodness!
It is actually, you'd be surprised at how many actors that like, you know, like just casually watching like, you know, random comedies or whatever, that are actually like classically trained at like You brought up Always Sunny. Glenn Howerton, who plays Dennis on, he's a Juilliard trained actor. Like,
oh, that's believable in so many weird ways.
But like that's why they always
Juilliard.
They give him the moments, like those really dramatic moments, to go over the top, and it's because he's a Juilliard trained actor. So like he has that moment in the episode where he's like at the hospital and he's like arguing with the woman at the desk, at the entrance of the thing, and he's like, if you do not comply with what I want, you will feel the wrath of a gust of 1,000 winds. And it's just like totally out of nowhere. And
when he's selling the car,
perfect.
and he's just like, I am a golden god.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, Remy, your top pick.
Well, I don't know if this is top, but it's worthy of the top. Elf. Elf is like
Bob Newhart in Elf.
But he's great. He's really great in that. But I mean, that's just such a fun story. The performances are great. The music's great. And it's just like a classic Christmas holiday feeling. So it's great.
There's an ongoing debate about this movie, and I would like, Remy, since it's your number one pick, I would like to get your take on it.
Yeah.
Which side of history are you on? So there's the scene where he encounters the escalator, right? And he's like, I don't know how to step on the escalator, and so he takes the first step, but then he stays and he does a full
stretch. Yeah,
he does the full split, right? Yeah, we all know the scene. He does the full split. But the way that they chose to do the camera is they do the full split, then they cut to his backside where you see him do the full split, and then they cut up a close-up on Will Ferrell's face on the next shot, right? So some people are like, Will Ferrell did not train to do a full split. That is his stunt double or an extra dressed in the same outfit doing the split, and then they cut to his face, and he's not doing a split. He's just standing there making a face as though he's doing a split. So this is the debate. Is that actually Will Ferrell doing the split? Or is it a stunt double doing the split? Where do you guys stand?
So I have to go back to the videotape. Depending on how it's cut, I would be leaning, not recalling how the scene was cut, that it would be a stunt double. Because
we can't risk that actor that way. I feel like, people die on escalators, Phil.
People die on escalators. Here's why I am of the belief that it was the middle-aged Will Ferrell doing the split on the escalator. Because even though they cut it, the edit is in such a way that it would be impossible for it to be him, right? All signs lead to it's definitely a stunt double. But how much funnier would it be if it was Will Ferrell and they just didn't edit it in a way at all to suggest that it was actually him? That's just like the funnier thing. And so I think that it actually was him just doing the absolute funniest thing possible, which is doing the split and then not getting any credit for it.
I could see that. And I could see him just being in the moment. They probably had things where they were just like, Will interacts with escalator. And just knowing he's going to do something. And that's just what he happened to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura. They were like, we're just going to turn the camera on and then you do stuff. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he did do stuff. He did
a lot of stuff. Oh yeah.
That's so. Final point I want to make about Elf is Elf is one of those rare movies that for me I was beyond. I feel like you can't make a classic Christmas movie anymore. Like you can't put one into the canon of all of the classic Christmas movies.
Very difficult.
That's not like a culture war thing. That's just like I think that there's just so much out there. Like that you can't. I just don't believe that you can really like get through the barrage of all that stuff to like really hit the zone, right?
That's the same thing for Christmas songs.
Yeah, agreed. Also, and we'll have one tomorrow. Actually, we're putting a Christmas song up tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow for you. 2 days on Christmas Day for us. But Elf managed to pull that off. Elf is to me is the latest one that was able to make a. Like that is a classic Christmas movie. Like you have to watch on every Christmas.
I don't know, Zach. I think my top pick might be able to contend with that. With that argument. And if I may take my top pick here, my top pick is the Phil Bleckman playlist on 90s MTG's YouTube channel, where you can watch all of the greatest hits.
There will be a miracle, that is for sure. Yeah,
it's a miracle. It's a miracle. Every episode of that series is a miracle. It's really
miracles
lovely.
On 90s MTG Street. Links below.
Yeah. You got to link on every single one of them. Yeah.
All right. This is the speed round. Speed round.
All right.
Your top 5 in no particular order, and this is going to just be Remy, then Phil, then me. Top 5 non-holiday promo holiday Magic cards.
Non-holiday. Right. Got it.
All right. Yeah. I got one.
Go for it.
Faceless Haven.
Haven.
Faceless Haven is like an angry snowman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're playing snow-covered lands to activate it. In my mind, I feel like it's an angry snowman, and that makes me feel like Christmas, like the holidays.
My number 5 is Arkham's Astrolabe because it feels like the thing that you would find if you walked into the Faceless Haven.
Yes.
Arkham's Astrolabe. Pull that one up. Oh, Arkham's Waste. Oh no! I'm not fast enough. All right.
Autocorrect and the multiverse just don't.
Yeah, no. I don't know what's going on here. You're
getting wrecked here, Zach. Oh yeah, but that's a good pick too. That's a good pick.
How did that go to Arkham's? Arkrum. Am I saying Arkrums? I'm saying Arkrums. Arkham's Astrolabe.
I actually don't know.
It's the A-R-C. There we go. Arkham's Astrolabe. Yeah, that is a wintry type of deal there. Yeah. I agree. All right. My first one, and this is going to sound weird, is Chaos Lord. Chaos Lord. Look at the
first rare you ever opened, my guy. The first rare you ever opened.
This is my first rare that I ever opened. It was around Christmas time. But this is a snow scene, man. This is
Yeah.
This is our dude having a winter wonderland experience, right?
Totally. Yeah, and something about this exercise just makes me think of Ice Age. Like basically all the cards.
Of course.
That is very that's very, very wintry.
All right, you're up.
This is going to be a cheesy one, but just the snow-covered lands in general. You look at like a snow-covered plains, like even snow-covered. Look at all these snow-covered plains, snow-covered mountains, snow-covered everything. That's a winter wonderland. Look at this one. That one's perfect. One, man. Oh
my God.
Old border.
The old border snow-covered are gorge.
Yeah, I love these. These are wonderful.
I like doing that. Every now and then I'll just order like 24 copies of a Plains. I was like, I really like that Plains.
You want to know my favorite usage of snow-covered lands ever in the history of the game? D&T players would split their plains in half plains, half snow-covered plains, specifically because they wanted to play around predict, blind naming them in those. Now, the number of times that a D&T player was blind predicted is 0 times. It's never happened.
It's
never once happened. But there was an era where it was just exclusively correct to split your planes to play around blind naming predict. And my favorite thing about Magic players is when they put effort into equity that never actually shows up in reality. It's my favorite.
Like my I used to play Helm of Obedience in my Rogue Delver deck because I was sick of people just doinking me with Rest in Peace.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the one guy that I got that to, Devin Riley.
Oh wow, you got snack dad with that? Wow.
Yeah, I got snack dad. All right, Phil, you're up.
So my number 4 is because we're in the Ice Age Cold Snap time frame, and I think that it is holiday-esque because we were talking about how sometimes families fight during the holidays. It's Counterbalance. I think this isn't a personal.
It's a cold snap card, isn't it?
It's a cold snap card. I mean, look at this thing. You got the cold, you got the hot, you got this is. I mean, if there is anything more representative of a family fighting over politics or whatever on Christmas Day, this is it. This is it, and it's just it's always a holiday treat when I put it on the table.
All right, I got Goblin Ski Patrol. If I can find
classic.
it here. Goblin Ski Patrol.
Yeah.
What is more winter than goblins on skis sacrificing their life to do 2 extra damage? I mean, come on. Look at that flavor text. I mean, it's almost it's
it's
so
really good.
close.
You couldn't make that card now.
No,
like you couldn't make that art. I mean, you could make like a version of it that looked like a postage stamp or whatever for the secret layer, but for that card, that art, somehow you can't do that. I love that card.
Yeah.
And you can only activate its ability if you control a snow mountain. So that's not a snow-covered mountain, just a snow mountain.
It's a snow mountain.
The flavor. Amazing.
All right.
You know what? I have it. Polar Kraken. I didn't want to say Polar Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, so not only is this just makes you think of that's me a Christmas dinner. That is me. That's me. The left part of the art, that is the Haagen-Dazs vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
The little bears, that's my family wondering if they get any. But this card is just so holidays. I actually to this day put a copy of this in most of my commander decks because I just remember
that dream.
Yeah, I used to play this card when I first started playing, and I would run this card and every other card I owned in my one deck that I had with like 100 cards and 20 lands.
I had a blue deck that was just all of my blue cards that also had this and Apprentice Wizard. I could ramp out Apprentice Wizard.
Oh yes,
and like
heavy blue.
There. Yeah,
heavy blue. Yeah, I don't remember.
You know, you eventually just run out of lands.
I don't even ever remember casting it when I was a kid. I would lose way before turn 11 and wonder why.
The insult to this card is that it also just enters the battlefield tapped. It's like, come on, I just spent 11 mana. You can't let this thing block.
No, you're not blocking with this thing. This thing, you're attacking with it, and this is it. This is the whole game.
Yep.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that they're like, look, there's no way this thing that is gorging on Haagen-Dazs vanilla is going to get in the way of anything.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, Phil, you're up.
This is our number 3, right?
Yeah, number 3.
Okay, so you guys know the classic, the Ghost of Christmas Past. Yeah, that's when I internalize, where is that on a Magic card that speaks to me? And it is Cemetery Illuminator. Now, I may be the only person who has cast that card in any format.
It make me spell cemetery. Live on camera. There we go.
Cemetery
this is the Ghost
Illuminator.
of Christmas Past to me, and that part of the reason why I'm a Miracles guy all the time is because I'm festive, and all my cards they really speak to the time. And this is every time I think this is the thing that's going to make me actually appreciate what I have, because it never actually successfully does what I want it to do. So
it looks like the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Yeah, it does have a Ghost of Christmas Past in this too.
Yeah.
All right.
I like that.
My choice for this would be my number 1. We're not doing them in order, but Goblin Snowman, everybody.
Oh, that's
Goblin
perfect.
Snowman.
That's
perfect.
perfect.
This card just reeks of Christmas.
Yeah.
This is the card that makes you realize that you would think that elves would be the Christmas race in Magic the Gathering, but they're not. They hate commercialism.
That's
right?
a good point.
They don't like junk, right? But goblins got the spirit. They're skiing. They make snowmen.
Yeah.
This is it, dude. Goblin Snowman. All right,
perfect. That is perfect. Wall of Ice. Wall of Ice. I have a soft spot for Wall of Ice. And it's just a glacier.
Yeah.
It's just a glacier.
Possibly a man stuck in the ice.
Yeah, a little Encino Man thing going on there. I loved this card. And a
wall of flavor text too. Just a Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Just like straight up, not even trying for the flavor text. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't even remember this, but that adds to the lore. That adds to the holiday lore.
They were just well, we don't have a fully fleshed out universe. Let's just steal from the public domain for our flavor text.
Yeah.
What's great too is if you asked anybody who didn't know what this card was or that it existed, and said, "Hey, what color and mana cost do you think Wall of Ice is?" I think 99% of people would have figured out that it's 3 mana, but nobody would have guessed that it's green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The early days.
Yep. All right, Phil.
So during the holiday times, I think, what is the best gift anybody could give? And if I got the most joyous gift that would make me feel all the feels, it's if Sensei's Divining Top came back. Sensei's Divining Top, of course. my number two, not even my number one. My number one is really the top end, the top shelf, if you will. But man, what a joyous gift this is. And this year Hanukkah comes after Christmas, and this also really speaks to me as a non-religious, non-practicing cultural Jew. That this is really this is not a dreidel. It's probably insulting for me to compare them at all, and it's my number two.
Yeah, I feel like because this comes from a Asian inspired set, comparing it to being a dreidel somehow hits two cultures in the same blow, Phil.
But I am of one of the cultures, so I get a free pass.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. This is the holiday spirit.
Goblin Shrine. That is a Christmas party. You can't convince me otherwise.
Oh, yeah. I see it now.
Look, and that might even be Santa in there. That even might be Santa. Like, come on. Yeah. They're just hanging out by the mountain. I keep trying to click on the wrong thing. There we go. Got to get the dark version so you get a little bit lighter.
Some people might have seen this printed, and the shadowy silhouettes dancing among the flames from a set called The Dark. You might think it's nefarious, but really it's celebratory.
Yeah, yeah. This is a party. And Norin the Wary, first appearance of Norin the Wary, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know he was from the Dark.
That goes back. That goes back. Yeah, this on first glance you think that there might be something nefarious about it, but they just got into the eggnog, I think. Yeah. And they're just dancing around the fire and going
it a little bit. And they
based on this this flavor text, it might be a pile of poop. I mean, you eat too much. There you go. Goblins, right?
Yeah.
All right. Remy.
So I think Ice Age, when we're brainstorming like this, and nothing screams Ice Age to me like Jester's cap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Jester's cap. I would wear this thing out.
Let's get
the snow.
The real one here.
Send me to a Christmas party. Send me to the office holiday party. I'll throw that thing on.
This was a big vibe in the mid to late 90s. You would go to Magic tournaments and people would be wearing, not this specifically, but like these cap things.
Oh, they would be wearing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was a big ski person thing too. But like, this was a look that a lot of Magic players had, that they would just like show up wearing this thing.
I'm going on Etsy tonight.
It's a whole vibe. Yeah.
I got homework after this episode. I got a lot of homework. But yeah, that's my card.
This is a classic card. I used to play this in a Browse Digger deck where you could basically just get rid of your entire deck and just keep recurring Jester's Cap, and that was your win con. So you would start by just removing all their disenchants so that they couldn't screw up your whole combo, and then you would just remove all the threats, and then you would remove all the rest of their cards, and then you'd win that way.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, really beautifully elegant win condition.
Yeah. All right, Phil, your second to last pick.
No, this is our top pick, I thought.
No, we got one more after this.
We got one more after this?
Oh, wait, no, maybe my gosh. Did I go last?
Yeah, I think
this is last.
This is your last one, I believe.
Okay, so I have one left. Yeah.
If this is my top one, which is what I was expecting, I do have to give a shout out to my honorable mention. The Uncle Buck of this list is Shahrazad.
I'm really surprised it's not Uncle Istvan, but
Shahrazad is my honorable mention because you have to assume that the woman in the artwork, it's cold outside. Look at this. It's cold outside. She's enjoying. She's having conversation around
maybe a hookah.
It's quintessential holiday time, and it's also, speaking of really elegant win conditions, the most elegant win condition in the history of Magic is Shahrazading in the sub games as well to deck your opponent, and so you infinitely deck them in all the sub games until you can deck them in the actual game. And the notion of infinitely decking your opponent only to then deck them in real life as well is chef's kiss. Okay.
My rule for Scheherazade is that if you play, you have to play at a large table, so you can put a table under it and play that game.
Yeah,
and then the table.
You got to go.
And eventually, you'll just get that thing that's in like a pizza box that protects the pizza, and you'll be playing under that, and then that's when you can start going back up.
It's the only way to do it. And the additional thing about this card, aesthetically, the old plains symbol is exceptionally holiday-y to me.
It feels like a holiday vibe.
It's an ornament. It's an ornament for sure. Okay, so my top pick. My favorite thing about the holidays, of course, what is it for anybody else but the traditions that come along with it? And one of my favorite traditions on this episode, the holiday episode, and I'm going to give a nod to that. My number one holiday pick is the Grand Calcutron. Now,
there it is.
The Grand Calcutron. There's.
You broke Remy.
I think it speaks for itself.
Yes.
That's my top pick. There it is, right there. It's
perfect.
Beautiful.
That's perfect. Oh, that's perfect.
That's Santa in his,
You can see him right there. Look, he's right there. Santa, right there.
Yeah.
I don't even think Phil knew that there was a Santa in this, but there's a
What are you talking about? The Santa is directly in the center of the picture.
Oh, that is also a Santa. Yeah. There's two Santas in this.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Amazing.
Christmas miracle,
It
guys.
is a Christmas miracle.
Also, I know that this was non-holiday cards, but give peace and love shout out to Top Deck the Halls.
Top Deck the Halls is good. Yeah.
Top Deck the Halls. It is a holiday promo, so it doesn't count on this list. But what I do appreciate is it is the ideal win condition for a deck like mine, and because my entire deck is altered, it fits the criteria for what would be a decorated card in this card's text. And so every card in my deck has Miracle for Snow Mana, and that just brings it all together.
That's perfect.
My final pick is Goblin Rock Sled from the dark. Switch it up to the dark. This is again proving that goblins are the snowfaring like holiday winter race of Magic the Gathering. Like these guys are having a blast.
I'm warming up to goblins here. I am warming up to the goblins.
I have created a format that is similar to Dandan that uses Goblin Rock Sled as the Dandan of the format. So you get like a very fun, like very weird format where you have to like both deal with how many mountains you have in play and like trying to kill your own mountains and stuff. And of course there's cards that like Lava Dart that like destroys a mountain, so you could like get to a point where you can block and you can kill your opponent's Goblin Rock Sleds. I'm gonna put that out in I think before the end of the year we're gonna have like I'll show that format off. But there you go. Goblin Rock Sled.
I love it. Those are great cards.
Yeah,
those were great.
There we go. Back to regular viewing, and then Phil just jumped out. So that there you have it. There are that's 15 Christmas specials, 15 Magic cards for the holiday season. Remy, it's always a blast to have you on, and I'm glad we were able to do it before the holiday season ended.
It's an honor to be on for the holiday episode. Thank you so much for having me. It's so much fun every single time. I look forward to it, and hopefully I'll see you.
Chicago.
I am like I think like a 75%. I'm approaching. I had a lot of fun last time. I ate some pizza that was really good as well. We had a lot of fun playing.
Yeah.
Those were the only games I played while I was there. But I'll probably be. I'm thinking maybe I'll come for like Friday and part of Saturday. That was a lot of fun. So I'm hoping so. Are you going?
Awesome. Yeah. We're both booked. I think like Friday, Saturday is our thing. Friday is the Legacy Cup, which we'll both be playing in, but then Saturday is kind of just a chill hangout day.
All right. I hopefully I'll get to see you guys there.
Yeah.
I'm dialing myself up from 75 now. I'm a solid 90.
Okay. And John specifically, but John and Harry of Moxfield should be there as well.
Oh, those are
I know you
guys.
I know you and John have a whole dad bro situation going on.
we're gonna be chatting it up in the corner, talking about how tired we are.
But yeah, with that said, again, thank you, man. It's always a blast having you on.
The pleasure's all mine. Thanks,
at the
guys.
very least, we will see you next year. Same bat time, same bat channel. Again, always awesome to have you on. And everybody, if you can like, subscribe, share, all that stuff, that helps the show out. And with that said, happy holidays to everybody. And that's it. Have a good one. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to this channel and do your part to help sustain the legacy content ecosystem. Just subscribe to this channel goes a long way to reminding YouTube that people love and support this format. Now, if you really want to go the extra mile, you should think about supporting us through Patreon. Both the links for subscription and Patreon are right here. And if you're listening on an audio format, you can go to patreon.com/eternaldurdles. Thanks so much for watching.